folks? It's your man Star Jones. And tonight is lovely. I'm sure you're asking, why is he dressed up? Well, it's the first annual Star View Awards. This is something that I think was long overdue, considering how many movies I watch a year and how my routine is to actually let you guys know whether the movie is good or not. I think this is a perfect opportunity to review the year and kind of, relive the, different episodes of Star Views and actually give accolades and acknowledgement to the movies that were good and maybe the ones that weren't so good. So pretty much my award show is the way I want to do it. I'm my own spin on it. Of course, I dressed the part. It's no award show without dressing the part, but again, I still wanted to have my own spin on it and, talk about certain things, make it a point. So one of the things that's different between my award show and probably a typical movie award show is I'm not awarding movies that I did not see. That's 1A. 1B is also movies that I did not review on my channel, whether it be Star Quick Views or Star Views. If I did not review that movie, you will not see me mention that here. I may mention it because I will, talk about films that may not necessarily won an award or weren't nominated. I will have a segment tonight where I actually talk about and address those movies. But no one's being nominated if I didn't sit down on the black couch and talk about it, or if you didn't see me on Star Quick Views talking about it. So if you don't hear one of the movies that you love not nominated, that is why. But again, it's going to be a beautiful night. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy New Year to everybody that's tuned in right now. Definitely appreciate you guys for stopping by. And 2022 is going to be a beautiful year because it's a lot of highly anticipated movies coming out. So let's end this year right, 21 right, with this. And then we could just kind of transition into the new year with new work in these upcoming weeks of Star Views. So I don't have a cigar, so I will be smoking hookah with you guys tonight. It's only right. It's been a while. So I'll be back in 2 seconds, and we're going to go with Best Comedy as the first nomination. So I'll see you guys in a second. So we're back. And like I mentioned, I will be actually drinking with you guys. And I got the nice glass tonight. I know y'all used to my Star Black cup. So, Comedy of the Year. So, nominee number one. I'm be honest, I didn't watch too many comedies this year, so I don't have too many nominations here, and a lot of them kind of was nominated by default. So, here we go. Coming to America, the sequel starring Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. We have Space Jam, which is an animated movie starring LeBron James and Bugs Bunny and the whole Warner Brother family. And then we have Free Guy, starring Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds. I say that because we all know him as Deadpool now. It's like hard to not think of Ryan Reynolds and not think of Deadpool. So those are our 3 movies that are being nominated. Generally, it's going to be 4 movies being nominated, but because I didn't see a lot of comedies, it's only going to be these 3. So, with that said, Comedy of the Year goes to Free Guy. I'm sure y'all not surprised. Free Guy was hilarious, and of these 3 movies, it was the highest rated. So yeah, congratulations to Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool, and the Free Guy whole family that put that movie together. It was a different spin. It was like GTA, what GTA would be like if we lived in it. So yeah, check it out if you haven't. I gave that movie 7 stars on Star Views. And then we're on to the next. So we're going to go to the best horror movie in 2 seconds. So, shout out to everybody that's still drinking with me. Got a couple more categories to go. So, now, best horror movie. Got a few of those. So first we have Escape Room Tournament of Champions, which is a sequel to Escape Room. That was it was a lot, the first movie was a lot better than I anticipated, and that made me look forward to seeing Escape Room Tournament of Champions. So there we go. And then we have Candyman. Don't say his name 5 times. You already know what happened. Starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen. We have I can never say this right. I don't remember from my last video. Halloween Kills. It's like a tongue twister. Pause. But yeah, Halloween Kills, starring Mr. Michael Myers himself. Yeah. We'll probably be getting a sequel yet again. Spoiler alert. And then we have finally Spiral, starring Chris Rock. Spiral's another chapter in the Saw franchise. And yeah, so here we go. And the winner for Best Horror Flick, I'm gonna give the Spiral. I know, I'm sure you guys are shocked. I know this was a Star Quick Views. Spiral, actually I was supposed to watch it when it hit theaters, but unfortunately I think I was away on vacation when that came out, so I wasn't able to see it. But I watched it later on, and I was definitely surprised, especially considering the fact that I'm over the whole franchise. So I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't expecting a lot, but Chris Rock was still funny without being funny, and it was hard to take him serious, but overall the story was pretty good, and I was shocked at the end. Definitely a plot twist. So yeah, best horror movie of the year, Spiral. So now to the next award, we're gonna go Best Drama. This is also like comedies. I didn't see too many concrete dramas. I've seen a lot of movies that were like action dramas, sci-fi dramas, but this is for the soul drama movies. Alright, for those who don't know, dramas are those super, I guess, kind of emotional movies. It's a lot of picking sides on who you rooting for, and it's a lot of deep-rooted messages in these kind of flicks. So yeah, dramas, here we go. So, nominee number 1 for Best Drama, we're gonna go Boogie. This is starring, I believe her name is Taylor Page, I forget. Taylor Takahashi is the young Asian gentleman that starred in this movie. And rest in peace to Pop Smoke. He also made his acting debut. Unfortunately, this is the last time we'll ever see him on the big screen. And he did pretty good, if I'm being honest. He played himself, and I think he just embodied himself on the big screen, and it just translated really well. I actually love that movie. I gave that a 7 out of 10. 7 stars out of 10. The next nominee is The Many Saints of Newark. This is a coming-of-age story. I reviewed this on Star Quick Views, and this is pretty much about the Sopranos before Tony Soprano before he became who he was. We got to see Tony Soprano as a teenager and pretty much how he came to rise into the mafia boss that he became. And then finally, the final nomination is King Richard. This is kind of a redemption movie for Will Smith. A lot of his movies, in my opinion, have been hit or miss in recent years. But King Richard ended up being very, very good. I definitely enjoyed the movie. It was long, 2 hours. And this is where he pretty much played Richie Williams, Venus and Serena Williams' father. So yeah, that was pretty good. So those are the nominations. And the winner for Best Drama is going to be King Richard. Shout out to Will Smith. You did a really good job on that. I'm happy to see that. I was kind of nervous when I first seen the trailer, but he did his thing. So shout out to Will Smith and King Richard. Alrighty, so So, with the best drama, I think this is the perfect opportunity to give y'all a new category. Something that I've never seen. Maybe I have, but I don't recall. So, this is the Crybaby Award. I'm going to be honest, I'm very emotional. I'm a very emotional guy, and I'm not going to lie, I cry when I see certain movies. Like, I ain't going to front. And I think this is for the people that are emotionally driven like myself, that are being a theater boohooing. So, here we go. Crybaby Award. Now that I've explained that, Crybaby Award, here's the nominees. This is also only 3 movies. It's not 4, just because there weren't a lot of movies that had me teary-eyed. So, nomination number 1, King Richard. As I just mentioned, they just won Best Drama. King Richard was very, very, very good. And I saw myself crying 3 times throughout the course of the film. One scene in particular is when Richard Williams is in the park with Serena, and she's pouring her heart out about her wanting to participate in this big tournament that he was super against. And it was just very tear-jerking, especially, you know, for the people out there that didn't grow up with a father, you know, seeing how important her father was to her and how important she was to him, and they had a big bonding moment. That was big. Next nomination is Spider-Man No Way Home. For those who haven't seen it, I'm sorry, I'm ruining it for you right now. We saw Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, we seen Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and it was just a lot. This is the first time that we actually seen Tom Holland Spider-Man actually go through something traumatic. And when I say Tom Holland knocked it out the park, we always felt bad for Tom Holland when he got blipped. It was sad, you know. Tony, I don't want to go. You know, he's really good at making you feel sorry for him. And that movie definitely had me watery-eyed, teary-eyed, and all that good stuff. And finally, 007 No Time to Die. Spoiler, if you have not seen this movie, you're doing a disservice to yourself. This is definitely one of the better movies I've seen this year. And this is the end of Daniel Craig's 007. His send-off, you know, I didn't grow up being a 007 fan, but seeing his send-off at the end was definitely emotional. After I did my homework and rewatched all his movies, it was definitely sad to see him go. So, the Crybaby Award goes to King Richard. Gets another award, back-to-back awards for King Richard. Like I mentioned, I cried 3 times in that film. Like had to hold my head up and all that, all type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Had to pause it and breathe. Like, it was really that emotional for me. So shout out to King Richard. 2 drinks for you. And then we're on to the next. Alrighty, so now we're up to Best Sci-Fi Movie. Best Sci-Fi Movie, there are only 3 because of the sci-fi movies that I watched, these are the 3 that kind of stood out the most and were kind of concrete, focused on science fiction. So, nominee number 1 for Best Sci-Fi is, I'm going to say Army of the Dead. This was a Netflix movie starring Dave Bautista, and this is a zombie post-apocalyptic film. It might not necessarily even be post-apocalyptic because it actually was in the heat of the moment, and a lot of society around the city of Las Vegas hadn't yet gone through the zombie apocalypse. So, yeah. Next one is going to be Godzilla vs. Kong, King of the Monsters. This is the Monsterverse. We had Godzilla on one side, and we had King Kong on the other. And it was just a big kaiju battle throughout. And then our final nominee is going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is a very nostalgic film. This is for all my fans from the 1980 movies of Ghostbusters. And they pretty much brought back a lot of the old characters. So that was cool to see. Fell a little short on my expectations, but nonetheless it was a decent film. But best sci-fi movie of the year, I'm going to give Godzilla vs. Kong. Shout out to the Monsterverse. They did their thing. I enjoyed that movie. I think I gave that 7 stars. So, shout out to Godzilla too, my mans. All right, before I move any further with more nominees and all that and nominations, I just want to shout out to a lot of movies that didn't necessarily get a nomination tonight, but deserve some type of acknowledgement. First movie is Quiet Place 2. Quiet Place 2 was a very good film, just like the first movie. Usually sequels kind of fall off, but it kind of was on par with the first one. It didn't grade too much lower than the first film, so if you haven't seen that, that's definitely a good sci-fi thriller horror movie to see. Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan, is another good movie that kind of just fell short of the nominations. Definitely check that out. That was on Amazon. Judas and the Black Messiah was a very good movie. It's pretty much a movie about Frank Hampton, one of the most notable members of the Black Panther Party. Shout out to you. They really knocked that movie out the park. I did not nominate it for anything because I did not review it, unfortunately. I just forgot to. And then The Tomorrow War, which is another Amazon movie, starring my guy Chris Pratt, excuse me. End of the world movie involving aliens that was on planet Earth for millions of years, and then global warming essentially freed them, the aliens. I believe it was global warming. But anywho, those 4 movies are definitely movies you need to check out. Those movies definitely rate high in my opinion. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Shout out to all those movies. And when we come back, we're going to actually talk about a funny award I think you guys are going to kick out of. So, I'm sure you all going to get a kick out of this. Everybody knows what this is. This is a trash can. You put garbage in this. With that said, this is the Bum Juice Award for the dirtiest, trashiest, corniest, wackest film, basura movies of the year. I wouldn't wish anybody to waste their money on this. The time it takes to watch these movies, you lose time in your precious lives. Here we go. I don't even, because thinking about it pisses me off. Coming to America, garbage. Garbage. I think I gave that 4 stars. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, trash. I think I gave that 3 stars. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, I had my doubts just from the casting alone. Garbage. I think I gave that 4.5 stars. And finally, it was a toss-up between this one. It was another movie that I wanted to, but after consideration and having conversations, The Matrix Resurrections, garbage. You know what I'm saying? I did not enjoy the film. And after really sitting down and thinking about it again, the movie really, You know, the first Matrix film was good, the second one was okay, the third one garbage, and this one garbage too. So the Bum Juice Award, who goes in this, is G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes. That movie was pitiful. Pitiful. The other G.I. Joe movies were also going here and super garbage. But that goes right in there with the preceding films. Garbage, do not waste your money. All the other movies I said it, don't waste your money. And I'm not drinking to any of this shit because they all garbage and I can't get that time back. Alright? And when I come back, we can start drinking again because we have good movies to talk about. But garbage. All of them. Best action movie of the year. This is probably one of my favorite genres. That's probably why I saved it towards now. Best action movie nominees are Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think it was really good. Shout out to Zack Snyder for saving us from Josh Whedon's project. No disrespect to Josh Whedon, it just didn't translate well. And, you know, Zack Snyder was able to save that movie. I know it was a lot of back and forth whether or not, I know I thought about it a lot, whether or not I should nominate it for anything because it wasn't the theatrical release, it was a director's cut. But, you know, it is what it is. It came out, people loved it, it was 4 hours long, and it was worth every minute. So shout out to Zack Snyder for doing justice of the Justice League. Pun intended. Next is Godzilla vs. Kong. This movie was action-packed throughout. Shout out to the people that made that movie. The CGI was amazing. Nothing about it felt fake. I'm gonna be honest. It looked very realistic. They did a good job of framing them to be these monstrosities. So shout out to the people in the MonsterVerse. They did their thing. Godzilla vs. Kong. Next is Wrath of Man. This is a Jason Statham movie. Jason Statham is an action star. We know him. He is from Transporter, Cranked. He has a bunch of action franchises under his belt. And then finally, the Suicide Squad. We just talked about Godzilla and Kong. They're big kaijus. In the Japanese world, a kaiju is a big, huge monster. A towering monster, skyscraper size, thing of that nature. In the Suicide Squad, they had their own kaiju in that film, and they fought against it. Suicide Squad is a band of misfits, all in jail in the DC universe. Shout out to DC having 2 nominations here. And pretty much, we got to see Margot Robbie portray Harley Quinn yet again. We also got blessed with the presence of Idris Elba in this film. And I think he did a good job as well. I think that was one of the better films I've seen this year as well. So, the winner of Best Action Movie of the Year. This may come to a surprise, but I'm going to give it to The Wrath of Man. Jason Statham is the epitome of an action star. He is the epitome of an action star. He gets the job done. And for this movie to be... And I'm really big on, like, just human strength. You know, being able to beat people up with just your own natural abilities. I love superhero stuff, but it's also cool to see the guy like Bruce Wayne who's able to just handle things with just his natural born talent and abilities. And in A Wrath of Man, it's just, again, Jason Statham doing what he does as an action star. It feels organic. There's a lot of gun talk in that film. There's a lot of fisticuffs in that film. And for it not to have big kaiju monsters and all the CGI stuff in it, I think it's just action-packed throughout. So I'm going to give The Wrath of Man Best Action Movie of the Year. You know, if y'all don't agree, hit the comments and let me know. But I think for what it was, man, pound for pound, that's the words they use in boxing and wrestling and fighting, pound for pound, Wrath of Man was that action flick of the year. Shouts out to Jason Statham. And when we come back, Best Movie of the Year. Nomination of the evening. Shout out to everybody that stuck around and is still here. I appreciate you. Drink, take a toast. Movie of the year. This is overall the best film that I've seen throughout 2021. I had a total of 27 episodes of Star Views. So that's a lot of movies. And maybe 5 episodes of Star Quick Views. So we talking about north of 30 episodes and 30 reviews. So the first nominee is Zack Snyder's Justice League. We've heard this name, this movie mentioned a few times. Zack Snyder's Justice League, 4 hours. This is by far the longest movie I watched this year, but it was good throughout. I do not mind sitting on a 4-hour movie. I love movies that much, but when it's 4 hours and it's good quality, I have no qualms whatsoever, no gripes to speak about. So Zack Snyder. Second movie, The Harder They Fall. Shout out to Idris Elba. Shout out to Lakeith Stanfield, Regina King. Netflix movie. Netflix, I knocked it out the park. That movie was really good. I'm not really into westerns like that, but this movie was really good. Shout out to my folks. I appreciate you. 007, No Time to Die. Again, this is Daniel Craig send-off as the beloved 007, the #1 spy in the world, the coolest guy on the planet. I would love to hang out with him. This movie was actually very good as well. I think I gave this movie 8.5 stars. This is definitely one of the best movies I've seen this year. And lastly, a movie that came out just a couple weeks ago, Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home was what I think all Spider-Man fans, MCU fans, just the moment we was waiting for. The MCU dropped the ball on a lot of movies this year. Black Widow wasn't that good. Shang-Chi was decent. The TV shows for the MCU were really good, but I don't critique TV shows. If you want my opinion, I'll tell you, but I don't do Star Views. It's not for TV shows. It's about movies. So unfortunately, the MCU kind of dropped the ball as far as the big screen is concerned. But Spider-Man: No Way Home, fourth quarter release, Christmas release, saved us. This movie was really good, and I was pleased with the outcome of that film. So those are our four nominees. And with that said, the movie for best flick of the year goes to, and this was hard. This is probably the hardest decision I had to make through all these nominations. Um, but I'm gonna have to give it to Spider-Man: No Way Home, man. I gave that movie 9 stars. That is the highest rated movie I gave this year. It was really between No Time to Die and this. If someone left a comment saying No Time to Die was better, I would not be upset. I would actually heart it. There's no disputing. There's a room for argument there. I would definitely accept that, and I would not be mad at all. But shout out to Tom Holland, Zendaya, everybody that had everything to do with Spider-Man: No Way Home, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I feel bad for Andrew Garfield because the media was applying super pressure to that man. He had to keep lying to us about him not being in the film, but it was worth it. Shout out to the MCU. You guys got the best movie of the year from me, Star Jones, and from Star Views. So, appreciate it. Clink. So, shout out to everybody that sat here with me tonight and actually listened and paid attention. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting me throughout the entire year of 2021 and 2020. I know my 20 year was kind of cut short due to the pandemic, but I've been working full-fledged in 2021, so I just want to say I appreciate everybody that has been tuning in and showing me love for a fact. It means the world to me. For every like, for every comment, it's just been real. And in 2022, we're going to just keep this going. Before I get out of here, I want to shout out the clothing sponsor for Star Views, Fruits of My Labor. I'm sure you guys have seen it in my videos throughout the year. It's a lot of good quality clothing there. So make sure y'all hit up Fruits of My Labor, NYC.com, and cop up. You know, this is a black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? I advocate for black businesses, so there we are. 2022, we're here, about to get right. You guys, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, and I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. A new episode of Star Views is coming. Thanks again. Oh, y'all still here? Appreciate y'all for sticking around, man, but I don't got no more hookah. But what I do have is more content on my YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified as soon as I post anything. Alright? And if you haven't already followed me on social media, here's my information. Make sure y'all follow up. Appreciate it. Y'all still here, man. That's valid. Have a good one.